If you want to be an artist, you have to learn to see. That's the best drawing advice I've ever gotten. And you hear art teachers say it all the time. What do you see? Draw what you see. But what does that mean? And what are we trying to see? First, we need to see the shape. That's what I'm doing now with timed drills. Seeing shape means looking at a complex object like a foot, breaking it down into simpler shapes, using reference points and guides to make up the complex shape that you're observing. Some shapes are admittedly much more challenging than others, like feet and hands, especially things that move and have multiple parts. I think of the foot like a door stopper with toes. And here's the major key to success: you want to start very general. The goal isn't to get it right the first time, and that's why I like to start with timed drills. The idea is to start with more generalized shapes and work over them in layers until you refine the sketch, getting more detailed to the specific shapes in your reference photo with each pass. So if you can finish a relatively general foot in 4 minutes, then do one more pass for more specific details in another 4 minutes, then quite quickly you've built a pretty realistic foot. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color, and we're going to stick with monochrome right now, just using a pencil, relying solely on shading. I'm doing cross hatching today to create varying shades on this foot to add depth. Value or shading turns 2D shapes, which we just created, into 3D forms. They add that satisfying pop that makes your drawings jump off the paper, that delicious good that we are all seeking. To get started, I typically look for the darkest point and get some of those down on my drawing before I move forward with shading the more nuanced tones. That helps me ground the piece. It provides me with some landmarks, which serve again as reference points and guidelines. I can say, oh, this toe is close to here. It's almost like figuring out a puzzle. You have to get all of the lightest parts in the right places and all of the darkest parts in the right places. That's what seeing value is all about. All of that adds to realism. And a quick note on cross hatching, because I haven't been doing that much throughout the series. There's multiple different kinds: hatching, cross hatching. But what I want to talk about today is contour hatching, which is when you hatch around the object in a way that hugs the object's curves. It really helps to show off both shape and movement on the object, adding a clue that helps the eye create the illusion that you want to create on the page when drawing something like a realistic body. Practicing value with a single color first helps you to focus on building that skill before adding color. Color is hard. It takes a lot of practice, and the truth is, you don't have to get it all right. I'm a firm believer that we as artists will learn and practice with color for our entire artistic career, so I try not to get too hung up about it. No matter the skin tone, I usually end up using pretty similar colors. I love to layer colors when it comes to skin tones. I love juicy, rich looking skin tones that look alive. One tip that I live, breathe, and die for is to swatch my color palette before I start drawing a couple of marker shades that I'm wanting to layer with my colored pencil, and I will swatch them all on a different piece of paper first, just seeing how they all play together, but before I put them on my final piece. Those are all my best quick tips on learning to draw feet in under 5 minutes. I hope they help you out. Go use your powers for good.